All right, here we are, Cruising the Coast 2016, and today we are looking at a 1937. What is this? I'll let you explain what it is.
Chevrolet 1.5 ton truck.
1.5 ton Chevrolet truck. So we got a 1.5 ton Chevrolet truck, and what's that on the back of it?
Well, that's a fuel tanker, gasoline fuel hauler.
Gasoline fuel hauler.
And it's all homemade.
And
somebody in Texas made it.
You've been here a couple of days, right?
Right.
So how many of these have you passed as you're trying to park?
It's the first one I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's right. I'd have to say this is the first one I've ever seen as well. But there's a little bit of a story behind that. You said you don't really know a whole lot of the history, but what little bit of the history you know?
Well, a little bit of the history, what I know is that I bought it from a guy in Texas, and I met him camping, and I found out he had this old truck. He had photographs of it, and I fell in love with it. He talked about getting rid of it, and we made a deal, and last November, I purchased it from him. He's 85 years old. He knew he was never going to do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
So he just tickled death to let me have it.
Did it just start up, or did you have to do a lot of work to get it
I drove it on the trailer. I had to do some brake work and a little bit of electrical work, and that's all.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I just left it alone. And it's just a piece of rolling history, and that's the way I want to leave it.
Yeah, I noticed you haven't gone back and restored it or any of that kind of stuff.
The tanker has been painted. The guy that I bought it from painted the tank.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to do the truck, but he just never did get around to it. But
tell you what, it's not a bad job on that tank, because anytime you do something really big, it's hard to get it shiny from one end to the other. At least that's my experience. I used to paint cars.
I think it looks better the way it is, especially the truck. You know, it's rusty, but yet it tells a story. 78 years old.
Oh yeah, and it's fun to climb up inside of this thing and pretend like you're operating all the controls.
Yeah, that's why I got that sign for climb in and sit down and take a trip back to 1937. Kids love to climb in it, and I like for kids to climb in it because if we keep them interested in it, the hobby will stay alive.
Right, that's right.
And I have a lot of older people climb and say, oh, my daddy had one just like it. You know, they want to get in it.
Well, a fellow that was, when you were over there and I was setting up my equipment, a man came and asked me if it was all right to get in it, and I'm like, sure. Yeah. He was about 80 years old.
Well, you know, it brings back memories for them. You know, their daddy had one. They haul hay in it. They haul pulpwood, whatever. And it's interesting for them to look at it. And I enjoy them being able to see it.
And you actually feel like this may be a homemade deal?
Well,
at least like a one-off or it's short run. It wasn't like something that was produced.
It's not a production. The truck itself is a production truck. The trailer is one or maybe two. Possibly two trailers that were built like that.
Right, you were telling me there was a number 2 on the back of this that make you think that there might be a number 1 out there somewhere, or at least at one time.
And it's in West Texas, you know, I don't know where in the world it's at. But
well, another thing that was leading you to believe this might be homemade, you were showing me some of the design aspects of this, and in particular this wheel cover.
Yeah, this is made out of 55-gallon barrel.
55-gallon barrel wrapped around the tires, keep mud from flinging up all over the truck.
All the fifth wheel is homemade, and you know you can see that they knew what was readily available in 1937, 39. You know there wasn't no AutoZone they could do down by parts. They had to use what was readily available.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got them old.
It's not a production built trailer. It's not a professionally built trailer. It's built by somebody in some welding shop.
Mm-hmm.
You can see hammer marks on the tank where they actually beat the metal
into that shape. Yeah. Tell you what, people back in the day, man, they had some skill sets that do not exist anymore.
Well, that's true. You know, everybody says those are good old days. That's not what the good old days. The good old days are now. Folks back in those days they work hard.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, I can't even imagine some of the stuff people used to have to do just to survive.
Well, just like somebody drove this thing every day and made a living for his family out of driving, operating this thing, hauling fuel. You know, no air conditioning, no power steering, no power brakes. You know, I know it had to be miserably hot. You know, but that's what you had to do to feed your family back in those days.
Yeah, and it's not like these people didn't know they were miserable, but they just were accepting of it.
This was back before air conditioning.
Yeah, this is the way it works. There's not no way around it, so there's no reason to complain about it. Well, sure, I'm glad you brought this thing to Cruising the Coast this year. Have you been to other car shows with this?
Yes, I just purchased the whole thing in November last year. I've had it Blue Suede Cruise in Tupelo. I had it Tunica last weekend, Tunica in North Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest show I carried to was Blue Suede Cruise in Tupelo, which it was about 1,000 cars there.
Oh yeah.
And people just fall in love with it, you know. People just because they get to see it, you know, as it was. Then they get to read a small history of it, you know, and they're just fascinated with it.
So I see you're wearing a Corvette T-shirt.
Okay.
Or have you owned a Corvette?
Well, I've owned 10 Corvettes over the years.
Uh-huh.
I still got one that I bought almost 40 years ago. And I brought it down there 2 years ago. But it's a keeper.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And I brought my daughter home from the hospital in it, so it'll be her car one.
So on the back of your Corvette, is there a bumper sticker that says, "My other car is a fuel tanker"?
No. I'm going to get me a T-shirt built up with this tanker on it one day.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that way you can be sitting over there trying to get some rest, and people will come tap you on the shoulder to ask you questions about the thing.
I can't sit over there, you know, and folks over here looking. I got to walk over and talk to them because I know they want to know something, you know, that maybe I know, and I enjoy them looking at it.
Oh, I know the feeling. Look, I ain't got nothing to bring to Cruising the Coast with me anymore, but back in the day when I brought something, that was fun. No one was bothering me when they asked me about my car.
Right.
Well, I can't think of anything else to ask you. Is it all right if I climb up in there?
You're welcome to.
I got in here yesterday, so I know I can get in. I had to test it first before I actually did it.
It's not the most convenient, comfortable thing in the world.
Well, I lost my shoe. I noticed you got retired from the military. Were you a fighter pilot?
No.
Well, if you can get in here, you know, you could still go apply to be a fighter pilot, because that's about how much room they got in their cockpit.
I would have maintenance warrant.
Well, that probably comes in handy nowadays. Oh, yeah.
You see it got not much comfort in it.
Well, you know what? Back in the day when I was young, I always wanted something about this era. But, you know, we've already talked about that people weren't worried about comfort back then. And
well, they didn't know what comfort was.
yeah, they had to haul fuel.
That's right.
You know, it's like, what, there's supposed to be a sofa in there?
Yeah. This is the only air conditioner there is right there. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, and that looks like, is that something you added, or is that actual 1937 technology?
That was 1937 technology. Which now like that is full air in there. Just like a ventilator.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Man, well I tell you what, I love it. Oh, I can't say I wish I had one, because if I did, it'd be parked 365 days a year. Have one day to come out to this.
It's just like a barbecue pit. You can't ever fill it up with money.
There you go. But I bet it'll take some money out of you.
Well, I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy it.
Well, we enjoyed taking a look at it. Thanks a lot.
What?